Okay, so we're going to be going over drawing number 2 for the class. This was one you did as homework. So it's this object right here. I did switch up the camera angle a little bit, so hopefully this still looks okay. I tried to take the camera off the chest so that it wouldn't shake every time I bumped it, but this thing will still shake a little bit, so hopefully it won't be as annoying. So this thing is our next drawing. Now it's a little bit different because we've got some arcs. We've got like a rectangle on the inside that we need to draw, and it's not a square. But we're going to be doing this drawing the same way we did the previous drawing. We're going to find the maximum size and we're going to center it. Excuse me. So this drawing, if we go across the top, we can see that from corner to corner it's 2, corner to corner it's 2, corner to corner it's 2. Our maximum width is 6. Going down, we've got 1 inch, 2 inch, and then we've got this arc that has a radius of 1 inch. So if you remember, the distance from the center to any point on that arc is the radius. And our radius is 1 inch. So from here to here is an inch, here to here is an inch, here to here is an inch, and then from here to here is also 1 inch. So 1 plus 2 plus 1. So this is going to be a rectangle that's 4 by 6. So to start, I've got my drawing sheet taped down. I did reuse the tape from the last drawing sheet, which is nice. So got my 0.5 pencil. So the exact same thing. I've got 5.05 is the midpoint of that line, which is the bottom of our drawing area. I'm going to grab my triangle, vertical line. This should be 6.9, which if we divide 6.9 by 2, we're going to get 3.45. So 3, 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, and then 3.45 is just right in at the halfway point. So now, got my horizontal line going across. There's my center. I'm going to now center my rectangle on this sheet of paper, and my rectangle is 4 by 6. So it's a 6-inch width. So I set half of 6 is 3. So I set 3 inches at the vertical line, and then I can make a mark at 0 and a mark at 6. So there's my 6-inch width. And then I just do the same thing I did before. Vertical line. Vertical line. Excuse me. My height is 4. So half of 4 is 2. So I set my 2-inch mark on my horizontal line. I make a mark at 0 and a mark at 4. And then I draw my horizontal lines. Like that. And then I can go with my eraser shield and clean everything up. So I want to get just that rectangle. So I'll go around the outside here. We will be darkening it, so excuse me, if you get rid of part of the rectangle, it's no big deal. So I get the outside first. 4 lines on the inside. Like that. And so now, excuse me, what I'm going to do is just start kind of working my way in. Probably draw this top part first. So this is down 1 inch and then over 2 inches. Same thing on that side. So what I could do is measure down 1 inch from this corner. So I'm just setting my 0 at that top right corner. Make a mark at 1 inch. And then I get my horizontal line going all the way across. Can then set my scale. I could do it here or on that top line. I might do it here. And then mark in 2 inches from this side. And then in 2 inches from that side. So I'm just making these 2 points right here. And I could draw my vertical lines there and there. Might as well stick with the outside. So I'll draw the arcs. So again, I need to find my center marks. So it's going to be up 1 inch and then over 1 inch. So just like I did before. And I'll mark both these off at the same time just to try to speed up the process here. So I'll come in 1 inch from that corner. Same thing here. Come in 1 inch, make a mark. 2 vertical lines. Somewhere up there. Somewhere up there. And it's up 1 inch from this corner. So I'll go from 1 to 0. Make a mark. I'll go all the way across. Now I've got my 2 marks for my arcs. These arcs have a radius of 1 inch. So I will find my 2 inch diameter circle and do the same thing. It's a little harder because you only got 3 lines, depending on how long your vertical line is, to line it up. But I'm just going to draw that quarter of the circle, my arcs. So now I've got this center part, and this is it's missing a measurement here, but what we're going to do is it's down 1/2 inch, so we're going to go down from this corner 1/2 inch and then draw this rectangle, which is 1 inch by 2 inches. I need a measurement here that says 2 inches. I need to fix that. So down 1/2 inch and then 1 inch by 2 inches. So I need to draw a vertical line coming down a little bit to make sure I do this the right way. Whoops. So I'm going to come down 1/2 inch, which is also 0.5. I shouldn't say fractions. So 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. And then from there, I'm going to come down another inch, just like that. 2 horizontal lines. Measure over 2 inches. Mark it 0. And then my vertical line. There we go. So those are all of my construction lines. Now what I'm going to do is clean this up and then darken in everything. So I'm going to start with these arcs, clean those up. I should figure out like a edit or a fast forward. I'm just going to upload these as is, so I'm not going to go in and try to edit them. That would just be a little bit too much work. So let's see here. I'll leave those for now. I'll get rid of this. So that looks pretty good. Maybe up there. So now switch from 0.5 to 0.7. Get rid of the t-square. And now I'm going to go and darken in all my visible lines. So hopefully I don't cause too many marks in this chest. I don't think the wife will mind too much. It's just downstairs holding up a lamp and holding some blankets. So, but you do have to be careful. These pencils and this lead and stuff can really put some marks on wood tables. So just be aware of that. So down here as well, I can hear it digging into the wood. Okay, so back to my template. Get that in. Get that in. Then I could darken up that inside rectangle. So darken that up. So it's not entirely perfect. Some of these corners are off. I'm just kind of going a little bit faster than I normally would so the video doesn't get too long. But there it is. That's the object. It's centered on the page. So if I measured, here's one way to check that. If I measure the distance from here to here, I get a little past 2. Same thing here, a little past 2. If I go this direction, a little below 1.5 here, a little below 1.5. Excuse me. So that's all you've got to do. You could go through and do the measurements next. There doesn't appear to be anything weird, you know, for the arcs. You could dimension it the same way you did the circles. There are some interesting ones. Actually, I'll show you this real quick. So you can cross dimension lines. So find my 0.5. There it is. So for these 2 dimensions up here, this is kind of an interesting thing. I'm going to leave a gap and then come up to here to this point and then go like 1/2 inch past, and then gap 1/2 inch from here to here, and then dimension line, leave my space, 2.00, add my arrows, and then when I want to go to dimension this height right here, I can gap it, and then these lines can intersect and then go past 1/2 inch like that. So they're intersecting past 1/2 inch, and then down here I'll gap it and go out 1/2 inch and then draw. And you can compare it to with the triangle. So see how this one comes in a little bit past. So I could clean that up if I wanted. It's not a really big deal. I don't want you measuring them, but if it looks off, which this one, I mean, kind of looks off, I could erase it just a little bit. So if it looks off, fix it. If it's off, but you can't really tell, don't worry about fixing it. So these lines intersect. The dimension lines or the extension lines can intersect like that. That's going to be okay. So that's really the only thing that I see on here that's a little bit different. So at this point you would just go through, do the rest of the measurements, fill out the title block. You could call this one drawing 2, and you'd be all set. Thanks.